I'm J.R. Church. Welcome to today's webcast. Interesting note out of the Middle East. The Palestinians are threatening war over Jewish heritage sites. Now, this past few days, the Israeli government, the cabinet, has declared the burial site of Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, and their wives as a national heritage site. That is, they allocated money to keep them refurbished and to keep them nice looking and to preserve them. And also the tomb of Rachel in Bethlehem. Well, the problem is that those two ancient burial sites, so dear to the Jewish people and to their national heritage, happens to be in territory controlled by the Palestinian Authority. Now, the Palestinians are really up in arms over this. I mean, they're going to be able to someday live side by side in peace with Israel. Yeah, right. Except every time Israel wants to do any little thing, the Palestinians threaten war. Moderate, this is in quotes, moderate Palestinian leader Mahmoud Abbas on Tuesday threatened war over Israel's decision to officially recognize the Cave of the Patriarchs and Rachel's tomb as national heritage sites. The Cave of the Patriarchs, the burial place of Abraham, Sarah, Isaac, Rebekah, Jacob, and Leah, and Rachel's tomb are both located in areas that are today controlled by Palestinian Authority, namely Hebron and Bethlehem. Well, speaking to the European Union parliamentarians in Brussels, Abbas said that the Israeli cabinet's decision adds those sites to its list of national heritage sites is a dangerous provocation that will lead to religious war. In practical terms, the decision will not affect any changes in the status of the sites, but rather will give them higher priority for refurbishment and preservation. Rachel's tomb and the tomb of the patriarch, burial place more than 3,500 years of the patriarchs and matriarchs of the Jewish people, are certainly worthy of being refurbished and preserved, said Israeli government spokesman Nir Havetz in a statement released to the press. Mark Regev, another Israeli government spokesman, noted that denying the Jews their religious and historical ties to the land is not the way to make peace. Quote, just as Israel understands the Muslim connection to the tomb of the patriarchs, we are entitled to hear from the Palestinian side that they respect our connection to a site that is very important to the Jewish people. Regev was cited by the Jerusalem Post as saying it's disappointing to hear other messages from the Palestinian leadership. As usual, the Palestinians found an ally in the UN regarding this issue. On Monday, Special UN Coordinator for the Middle East, Robert Siri, said he was deeply concerned by the Jewish state's audacity in officially recognizing its ties to two sites so sacred to Jews. Well, that's par for the course for the UN. I realize I got a little excited in telling you this, but I mean, this is beyond the ridiculous. But Europe has scaled back its criticism of Israel over the Dubai assassination. You remember, Israel was accused of assassinating Mahmoud al-Mabhouh in Dubai recently. He was head of the Hamas, or at least one of the leading members of the Hamas. And so the European Union on Monday backed away from its earlier position that Israel was responsible for the January 20th assassination of top Hamas commander Mahmoud al-Mabhouh, in which at least 11 hit squad members used fraudulent European passports. Yeah. The assassins used fraudulent EU passports. Mabhouh was killed shortly after arriving at his hotel in Dubai. Police there revealed security camera footage of the alleged assassins and released the names of the suspects' passports. All of them were the names of Israeli Jews. Yeah, can you imagine? The Mossad using fake passports, but all the names on the passports were currently living Israeli Jews. Several of the Israelis named later appeared on Israeli television, confused and shocked, and clearly not the same people in the passport photos. But that didn't stop the European government from summoning Israeli ambassadors to explain the Israeli connection to the killing. Israel feared that those suspicions would be spelled out in Monday's EU statement. However, the statement did not mention Israel, and the EU foreign ministers even toned down the criticism of whoever killed Mahbub by removing the term, quote, extrajudicial killing, end quote. Meanwhile, Dubai's police chief insists that he has evidence linking Israel's Mossad spy agency to the hit. But many Israelis still question why the Mossad would be so foolish as to use the names of living Israeli citizens as cover for its agents. More likely is that another regional entity wanted both to harm Hamas and cause trouble for Israel, and they were the ones behind the hit. The prime suspect? Who do you think? Israel says, we'd like to pour some money into refurbishing the tomb of the patriarchs in Rachel's tomb. And the Palestinian leadership, Mahmoud Abbas, says, oh, that's war talk. Who do you suppose wanted to kill the Hamas leadership? The Palestinian Authority. And at the same time, blame Israel. Yeah. Because I want you to know the Israeli Mossad is not stupid enough to use Israeli passports, fake Israeli Jews' passports, to commit an assassination. Oh, well, the cauldron continues to stir. Oh, by the way, did you know that there's an attempt by Israel to make peace with the Palestinians? Yeah. How many years have they tried to make peace with the Palestinians? You think they would deliberately do something to make the Palestinians upset? I don't think so. They've bent over backwards. They've tried their best. They have begged the Palestinians to make peace with them. They have agreed to a Palestinian state. Just rip out the heart of Israel and give the land, the beautiful mountains and valleys of the heartland of Israel. Leave Israel with a little land, around the Galilee and down by the shore and down in the deserts. Israel has tried their best to make peace, all to no avail. And now Israel is facing Iran, facing the problems that Iran is causing. There is one scuttlebutt on the internet. I've heard it. I can't confirm it. I don't know for sure, but some say that this weekend, which is Purim in Israel, that Israel will hit Iran's nuclear facilities. Will it be this weekend? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But if they did, it would just create a bigger war. But by the way, Ezekiel chapter 38 says there will be a bigger war, doesn't it? Pray for Israel. Pray for the peace of Jerusalem. That's more than just a cliche. Pray for the protection of its people. I'm J.R. Church. We'll see you again tomorrow with our analysis of the news.